So the leader of the leader of Latinos for Trump, Cuban edition. Sorry. Hector Luis Valdez Cocho. Yeah, he's been detained by ICE. Ay, Billboard for Donald Trump. The wildest part about this is Donald Trump was very clear that he's going after criminals. Even though we all know that that's a lie. We knew it was a lie when he said it. Did he think that didn't mean him? May this level of delusion that made y'all trust and believe in this man and trust and believe that your proximity made you one of them never find.
Do you guys remember this lady? Well, I'm trying not to laugh. This is her now.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
They voted por Donald Trump. Donald Trump deport. You heard that right, guys. Janet Correa, the famous Trump singing lady, has had her husband detained by ICE. And not only that, but he got put on expedited removal. They want him out of the US. They don't want him. But of course, we've been telling them this all along. They don't want you, bro. Also, do you remember the time I went viral because I told people to call ICE on Latinos for Trump and the family members of Latinos for Trump? It looks like it's happening, and I couldn't be happier. You reap what you sow, and I stand by what I say. But anyways, play silly games, get silly prizes. Let me know what you guys think.
Oh, shit. I can't make this shit up. I cannot make this shit up. I can't. Is it because he voted for Trump? And he voted for Trump and he loves Trump. He got detained by ICE, but Cubanos for Trump, Cubans for Trump. Hi. He's in the fuck around find out stage right now. Oh my god, I can't make this shit up. I just can't. Like, this is too much. Somebody need some water. I need some water. Cubanos for Trump. So he was detained by ICE.
Being from Miami, I don't know how to feel about Cubans being in their find out era. Because they took over Miami, and it was to the point where you couldn't even find a job unless you spoke Spanish. And even if you spoke Spanish and you wasn't Cuban, you wasn't getting that job. And I give them a lot of credit because before their family or friends would leave Cuba, they would already have a job, a car, and a place to stay by the time they reached Miami. They really set up their people very, very well. Even had a wet foot, dry foot policy. Where they messed up at was thinking that they thought becoming a Republican was going to make them turn. And the whole time they're speaking Spanish. And a majority of them didn't even bother to learn English, but yet they thought they were. And my main question is, what is the difference between Fidel Castro and 45? Until then, yo voy a votar azúcar. Por Donald. Ay, 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 por Dios. Ay, por Dios. Yo voy a votar. ¿Por quién? Por Donald Trump.
Laura Garcia said she and her husband arrived from Cuba 4 days ago and are seeking asylum. He went into the immigration office, but after several hours, there was no sign of him.
He just came and he snatched her.
This man said his wife from Venezuela was taken into custody during a raid in the Miami neighborhood of Brownsville over the weekend, and that 2 construction workers were also rounded up.
I like Donald Trump. I think so he's doing wrong. Because you know, fix the problem, just isolate the people.
Beyond betrayed. They used us.
People being mad at me for calling out the Cubans for being the fucking traitor in the Hispanic community is fucking hilarious to me. Because then you can't continue to push your propaganda that 58% of Mexicans voted for this when the demographics are there. Kamala Harris literally won the fucking Hispanic vote. But y'all don't want to literally put your attention to that. No, not at all.
Y'all know what I've been saying. I will vote for Donald Trump. Y'all had me in the comments crying. Y'all wrote in so many different ways with so many different syllables. I was weak. I will vote. Because why would I vote for Donald Trump? What? And then if you click on that sound, it's so much foolery under that sound. Please click on the sound. Latinos for Trump singing their national anthem of I will vote for Donald Trump. And get yourself a good chuckle. Because why would y'all vote for Donald Trump? What? Y'all, that's embarrassing. So then 2 Hispanic delivery guys came to drop something off. And I was still playing the song. Cause I was making this video. I was still listening to I Will Vote for Donald Trump when I came to deliver the stuff. I was like, Latinos for Trump. Oh, girl, they thought I was picking probably. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Okay, and before we roll into more of these clips, let's pause for a second and make something very clear, because some of you seem to forget history real quick when it's convenient. You see, before anyone starts dragging Donald Trump again, you need to remember this simple truth. The man never lied to you. He said it from the jump. He's going to start deporting all of you. Yes, you. And you know exactly who you are. The same Cubana for Trump crowd, the ones who think their proximity to whiteness somehow protects them. Newsflash, it doesn't. Let's not forget to talk about the leader of the Cubana for Trump, you know, not the one running an official campaign or anything serious like that. I'm talking about the lady who went viral for singing, I will vote for Donald Trump. You know, like that one, you know, it was a Grammy-worthy anthem. Yeah, her husband just got detained by ICE. Yes, yeah. I saw this song is doing much better, far much better than it was during the election campaigns. You can't make this stuff up. Anyway, let's just continue watching this video. I'll come back at the end of this video to give my own 2 cents.
Did you know that Cuban deportees, especially the ones that are political dissidents and the ones seeking asylum in the U.S., face a significant risk of torture when they come back to Cuba? So when we ask ourselves, when will Latinos for Trump open their eyes, specifically the Cuban ones? The answer is they never will. And there's no better example than the Cuban for Trump than El Funky. He's a Cuban rapper that's currently facing deportation and possible imprisonment in Cuba since his music helped fuel anti-government protests in Cuba. Someone that's been really silent about this case is self-hating Marco Rubio, a Cuban himself. It's a perfect illustration of how much Marco Rubio has changed up during the Trump presidency. Even just a year ago, I'm sure Marco Rubio would have been the loudest person about this case. It's also a crazy example of how much Trump has changed up about Cuban immigration policies. For decades, the U.S. has rolled out the red carpet for Cubans, despite Trump refusing to help these Cubans who have overwhelmingly voted for him. They are still very much pro-Trump, including the rapper El Funky. Talk about fucking around and never finding out.
This is a message to all the Latinos that have a Latino for Trump in their lives. Call them out! Call them out on their bullshit! My brother's a Latino for Trump, and I just got done commenting under all of his dumbass reposts on Facebook talking about, oh, if you don't support this country, then go back to your country, like... Oh, because I remember sitting on the plane with you. I was sitting right next to you on the way to America. Last I remember, we were not born here, babe. We weren't. Do you remember that? I don't care if I expose him. He's literally my brother. This is literally what he looks like. Like, if he was on national news talking about, oh, this is the new cartel leader in Mexico, y'all would believe it. Y'all would believe it. It's always the ones that look like this that have the most to say. Like, You're not white. You're never gonna be white. They're never gonna like you as much. They're literally going to group you with everybody else that they're deporting. Wake up! And to Latinos who voted for Trump because you have papers and you're safe and you're okay and you're good, let's not forget that the only reason that you have those papers is because at some point, someone in your bloodline came to this country illegally and got them.
You got one of them coons talking about I will and did vote for Donald Trump. Ain't nobody ask her weird ass, won't give a damn. Let's get an update on the girl that did make this song though.
I will vote for Donald Trump.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
So for the ones who didn't vote for him, y'all be safe. Much prayers to you and your family. But for the ones who did, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out. And it seems like y'all finding out right about now.
And on today's beautiful episode of Fuck Around and Find Out, Latinos for Trump leader Hector Luis Valdez Cocho, I didn't pronounce that correctly, sorry about that, a Cuban activist who rallied others to vote for Trump, was picked up by ICE and is in a detention center awaiting to be deported. Y'all were told what was going to happen. You still wanted to support the taco? Fuck around and find out.
Let's talk about it. So her father is an immigrant, right? But she voted for Trump. What's more even crazier is that her father has cancer and had 6 months to live. But she still voted for Trump. ICE came and got him. Now he's in an ICE detention, and she's crying, talking about she didn't know they were going to do what they're doing right now. Really?
No one deserves to go through something like this behind bars. He has lived in Florida for more than half his life and worked for the same construction job for many decades. Every day that goes without him here is a day lost forever. This is about being human, about love, connection, and presence. The one thing he needs the most is the one thing that we're being kept from giving him, which is us. I feel that it would be immoral and inhumane to let a man who is suffering, who is terminally ill, spend what little time he has left in pain and isolation. Please don't let him die in a cell. Please don't let his vital memories be of those of pain and isolation. The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, and justice for all.
Look, I'm not even trying to be a dick about this, but like, why would you vote against your own interest? Why would you do that? Like, Trump told y'all what he was gonna do. And he's doing the shit he said he was gonna do. Look, she was denied whatever. They said no. And I hope her father...
How y'all doing, family? This guy? This is Hector Cocho. Hector Cocho is being detained right now. He was detained by ICE after he was doing some criminal shit last November. And he is currently about to be deported. Now, the big thing about that is Hector, Mr. holding the Trump 2024 Let's Go Brandon sign, is a Cuban person over a group called Cubans for Trump. Hector voted for this. Hector voted to have his ass deported from this country. And all we got to say about that, Hector, is bye, nigga.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Yeah, before we wrap this up, I just have to say it, okay? This must really, really sting on a soul level to sit down, take the time to write, compose, and perform a song singing praises to Donald Trump. Yes, I'm saying it like that because that's how they were doing it. I will vote for Donald Trump, only to wake up one day and find out that your own husband has been detained by ICE under the very same administration you were singing for. Shoo! Imagine pouring your heart into that song, chanting, I will vote for Donald Trump, like it was your personal victory anthem. And you're staring at immigration papers and possible deportation papers for your husband. You really can't write irony better than that. God has a sense of humor, clearly. And what makes even this wilder, and y'all saw it in those clips we just played, it's that it's not just black folks who are laughing out loud at this mess. You saw Mexicans laughing too, and so here's where it gets extra spicy. They are Latina, they are Hispanic themselves, the Mexicans who you've seen in these clips, and they're finding this hilarious as well. Why? Because rumors is that the Cubana for Trump crew has not just the crew itself, the entire let's just say Cubanas for Trump, Cubanas always carried themselves like they were somehow closer to, they always carry themselves like they are somehow closer to whiteness, like somehow in the grand racial hierarchy, they imagine it in their minds that they were sitting in a little higher than those else, including other Latinos like Mexicans, Central Americans, you name it. There's this long-standing tension where Cubanas, especially in certain circles, feel like they're not like those other minorities. And this is why this moment right here, this husband snatched by ICE situation, is comedy gold to everyone watching, because if they've been thinking they were above Mexicans and other Hispanic groups, just imagine how they really feel about black people. You don't even have to guess. It's obvious. This is why people across the spectrum are laughing, because this is what happens when you play the proximity to whiteness game and think it will save you. Spoiler alert, it never does. Pardon my voice, I've got a bad flu. So this season we're in right now, this is what I call the finding out phase. You know what they say, the if around and find out, and baby, they are finding out publicly. This is what happens when you dance for a system that was never built to protect you in the first place. You wrote the song, waved the flag, screamed the slogans, and now your family is caught in the same trap you cheered for when you thought it was meant for someone else. That's tough. But like I say, I always say on this channel, you cannot make this stuff, guys. Real life writes the best scripts. You could pitch this as a reality show, and Hollywood would pass on it for being too unrealistic. But here we are, 2025, watching it unfold in real time, and honestly, I don't feel bad pointing this one out, because these are the same people who happily threw everyone else under the bus just to get a seat at the table they were never truly invited to, and now the bill has come due. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comment section down below about Donald Trump. And I'm sure nobody's shocked. Let's just say everybody's entertained. As I know everyone is entertained as the rest of us. Did this play out the way you thought it would? Of course. Because honestly, this is the plot twist I think they never saw coming. We saw this coming. Black folks saw this coming. Except maybe the ones who knew, better from the staff, maybe they didn't know it. But we saw this coming. We knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any, because I think we should be doing a lot of these Hispanic Mexican clips. Yeah, because I don't think this is ending anytime soon. Guys, I'll see you in my next video. Stay peaceful. I will vote for Donald Trump.